Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing out there? I hope everyone is well. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Heather, how are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing.
It's going great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for asking.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one today because we actually had this conversation in our community last night in a little
That's
bit,
right.
address it a little bit. So it's going to be exciting to talk about this one. So I'm looking forward to this one. And anybody that is watching the show or saw the link or clicked on it, you probably know that this is about messaging today. So can't wait to get right into it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what I like about this show is that you and I have figured out about 8 different ways that we can message each other throughout the day, including carrier pigeon and smoke signals.
That's true. That's true. But in Arizona,
we'll be talking about something a little bit more instant than that today, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little hot in Arizona though to be doing
smoke signals. No smoke signals today, no, or this week. I mean, we're in the 90s, Michael. Wow, the rest of the world is talking about snow and stuff, but
that's nuts. That's just crazy. Hey, if you're out there, let us know where you're from, city, state, etc. We would love to hear from you. I don't know who's out there. Great. Also, if you would, we would appreciate a thumbs up, whatever, or like, whichever destination you are. And some people don't get here right away. I get that, just because I put down 5:05 for the start time, Eastern time, for my time.
Yeah, you mess everything up with that. Yeah,
I do. So some people get here a little bit later thinking that it's going to start then, but I only have that because of Facebook. Because if you don't start on time with Facebook, they'll say we're not going to start right now. So yeah, but all this tech that we're talking about and stuff like that, you can learn about this in the Tinkering with Tech community that we have. We mentioned a community. We have a community. If you go to tinkeringwithtech.net, you can go and learn a little bit about it and see what we do. You will see this show. It pops up every week on this show, shows on that website, and you can kind of see what we're all about. If you'd like to try it out for a little bit, come try it out for a little bit. Right?
Hey, speaking of community, we've got one of our members is here, and she's like, hey, I'm here. So glad you're here, Mia. And we've got Mike out there from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. So glad you made it. And Tiger Doug says, I'm here in Charleston from my car.
Okay, that's
don't
fair.
Don't hit anyone, Doug.
Yes,
don't hit anyone.
Please. Yeah, don't be doing all that now. Yeah, we don't need that.
All right, we've got a poll we would like you to participate in. So I'm not sure if this is going to go out to Facebook, but hopefully it does. Mia, let us know if you see this over on Facebook as well. It is the Google form link, and we're just 2 quick questions. We just want to know, check all that apply. You'll see it when you check it out, if you don't mind.
Basically, it's a poll on text messaging versus instant messaging. So this is basically what we're trying to find out. We want to kind of know which ones you're using, what you use, what do you like, why. We're going to get into all that kind of stuff, but we really want to kind of, and some people, I think we're doing this, well, it's for me, it started out because of the conversation we had yesterday. Well, what's the difference? What is the actual difference? Why do we have 2 different things? Why are there 2 different things?
And you and I even had a conversation about the terminology.
We bickered
the terminology is just, I mean, truthfully, we did. We bickered about it, but because the terminology is so weird. It's like, is it texting? Is it SMS? Is it text messaging? Is it messaging? Is it instant messaging? And what we found out through our little research was that SMS messaging or texting is using a cell phone, using a cell phone service, right? Is that accurate to say that way? And
100%.
that instant messaging is through an app that can be done both on your computer, your devices, mobile, etc., but requires
smartphone,
and it requires internet service. So it's like data is being used versus carrier service being used.
There you go. So you will see that poll out there, and go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Please continue.
You will see that poll out there. Please, it will put it out there randomly. And also, anybody that's watching this in the replay, we're going to have it in the description as well. It'll be there. You can go ahead and answer this. Doesn't have to be answered today. So if you're like, oh goodness, I would like to participate in that one, that's a way for you to still participate in it, because we just want to know. I want to kind of get an idea.
And we're going to show the results throughout the show. So go ahead and fill it out now. And as people join, we'll be asking you to fill it out, and we'll be showing a couple of times, right? So when we see 100%. What do we call it? When we see more responses, I guess it looks like we've got 5 responses already. So that's pretty awesome. Richard says already answered it. Thank you, Richard. We appreciate it. So,
we do appreciate
very
that.
nice. So in our texting versus messaging, or messaging versus instant messaging, or however you say that, one of the things that I found distinctive was that when you are using a phone, even if it's a flip phone, right? Even if it's a flip phone, you can still text. Remember the old way when we would like push the 2 3 times to get the letter C? Remember that? Crazy. I can't believe we ever functioned that way.
And ugly. It was ugly functionality.
It was text messaging, and that was part of the cell phone service. And all the cell phones come with that that apparatus, the texting app, to be it's a part of the phone. So you don't have to have anything downloaded or added to. Now you can add specialty texting apps, which we did talk about in our community meeting last night. We talked about some specialty apps. I think that was your tip, wasn't it, on Google Messaging?
It was indeed. Absolutely.
For those who were there, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was absolutely fun.
Haha, I'm dying thinking of that old flip phone text messaging. I know, and hated that. Richard says, exactly. Anybody who ever had to say more than 3 words, it was horrific. Click, 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 click. Hi. That's excellent.
It was so annoying.
Exactly.
All right, let's look. We got a little bit of a preview right now, so let's kind of look at it.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Look at that. So right now, this is the applications that have instant messaging. So this is where I was going with this conversation, was that we have applications that are just for messaging. That's all they're for. And then there's applications that actually have instant messaging as a secondary part of that application. And we're talking about just a few that we listed here, because truthfully, we didn't want you to sit through 20 minutes of questions.
Exactly.
It looks like Instagram and Discord are way up there. 3 of the answers. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I like that we put on there too, not just your favorite, but we did every one that you use. So that's kind of nice that we can build numbers.
Look at that. There's HAPS and AOL on there. Somebody actually uses AOL.
Oh, nice.
Is that really true?
Let me go back. There you go. I love it. Look at that.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. So what's the next one? Look at here. Google Hangouts. We got, really? Wow. It might be because tinkering with tech.
Because of us. Because of us. I'm sure it's because of us.
Look at this. I'm not the only one. April says someone still uses AOL. See, it's not the only one. That's awesome. Jim has arrived. Hello, Jim and Chris.
Hey,
I
Jim.
assume are both there.
Hey.
T9. What is it?
Love it.
Yes. Roy uses it.
Okay. All right. So we found the culprit. We needed to find the culprit, and we found the culprit.
Mike thinks he can guess who uses HAPS.
Okay. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's cool. So those of you who may have joined us a little bit later, you can scroll up to get the link, or I'll put the link in a few minutes, and we'll get you to answer the poll. And you can be a part of the live discussion.
There you go.
So we were talking about no app being necessary to do text messaging, but there is an app necessary to do instant messaging. That's a pretty good distinction. But then
I think so.
Also, with texting, as we talked about through the cell phone service.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that to anybody who's got if you've got their number, whether they're a Verizon customer or a Sprint customer or whatever, right? As long as you've got their phone number, you can text them.
That's right.
But if you are going to send them a message on, say, Duo, if they don't have Duo, then they ain't going to receive it, right?
They ain't going to get nothing.
No, they ain't going to get nothing. So let's see what Mia says right here. I just updated my response. I forgot I also use WhatsApp. AOL, though, not it.
Yeah, love it.
We love you, Andrew. We love you. But I do think it's kind of cool how in this image that we borrowed from a really cool article, and I'll go ahead and put the link to this description in the YouTube video when this is all done. But for that conversation, but it does say that it's a great tool. Both are great tools for sending photos, messages, videos, all that kind of stuff. So it's not just texting, as it were, right? Yeah.
Which I think, well, and I think that's a big deal. I think that's a good way to understand that too, because like we use at work quite a bit text messaging because that's what everyone knows. Everyone just has it on their phone. They don't have to worry about what carrier they're with, like if they're with Sprint, Verizon, whatever. All of that goes through, and that to them is the most important thing. Now, I will say there are many folks that are now using smartphones. I mean, smartphones have become so popular. There are a couple of people out there that still have flip phones and things like that, or they just don't want it. They just don't want to learn the technology. They're fine with what they have. Just be able to get a text or a phone call. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? So the text, when I say that, yeah. And when I say that, text messaging versus instant messaging. That's the way we're determining. I think it's a good way to do that.
You know what's interesting too when you say that is I noticed with a lot of instant messaging apps, maybe this is a distinction, maybe it's not, I don't know, but I've noticed, at least in my experience, that when someone is replying, you can see that they're replying. You can see that they've seen the message and that they're replying. Now that's happening in real time through the internet. When a text message happens, you don't know if they've read it. You don't know if they received it. You don't know anything until they respond. And you don't even know that they're trying to respond.
That's a great point.
The way I've noticed it. But
yeah, no, that's a great point. I think that's an excellent way of looking at it too. I mean, because you have to kind of see, I don't know. I think it's cool. All of it's cool. I think it's neat, and it's neat to know the difference. Or when you have both, it's just one more thing or a couple more things possibly that you have to have or whatever.
Yeah,
got a little bit of an update. Yeah.
Richard says I still use Morse code to send messages, which is great. And thanks, Mike, for reminding me. T9 was predictive text for text on a flip phone. Yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know that I ever used that because I was not very good at the words I used.
There you go.
And it predicting. Oh, what do we got here? Okay.
This is a few more folks.
So Instagram is running up there. That is what I probably use the most. I love Instagram, but I also love interacting with people on Instagram. You can send pictures and videos and everything directly to people, and
it is simple.
and they can send me bacon emojis. So,
so do you message back and forth very much using that?
Yeah.
Like you do? I mean, like directly to. Now you can't do a group with instant messaging, can you? Or
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can
As
do
a
a
matter
group
of fact,
chat.
Sylvia, myself, and Sandra, we send each other's. It's kind of cool because if you find something on Instagram you like, you can actually send that to an instant message as well, direct message to someone, and say, "Hey, check out what I just found." That's how I follow a lot of the people I follow, because people have sent them to me in a direct message and said, "Look at this. I think you'd like it," and we talk back and forth that way. I've even done collaborations with people using instant message, direct messaging is what they call it.
I got you. Direct messaging. Gotcha. Yeah.
On Instagram.
Let's look at the other. There you go. Should have had Reels on the poll.
Reels is actually a tool within Instagram, Richard. So it's on there.
Everybody on Facebook Messenger
Well,
wagon.
not everybody, because I did not answer that one.
I didn't either. Because the question was your regular usage, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's interesting because Facebook is one of those where it is separate from Facebook. It's a separate app. So if you have the Facebook app on your phone and you want to do messaging, you have to then install a secondary app to message. Whereas with Instagram, it's all a part of the one app, but they're not at all the same app. So it makes sense. But what I find interesting about that is that when you're on the desktop or, using your laptop or whatever, you can actually access instant messaging within Facebook from the web. So that's kind of a cool way to do things so that you can actually, you don't even have to have a phone. Like this doesn't leave Andrew out, right?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you have like a Chromebook that'll accept apps, that kind of thing, you can still have an account.
Good. Yes.
The only thing that I would say that is kind of I don't know, is that there's a lot of things you can't do because you have to do two-step verification. Now, two things there. One, I think it's great because you get the security, and I think two-step verification is on the right track. The other thing is you have to have a mobile in order to do that. So sometimes that can be good, sometimes that can be bad. Is all I'm saying on that. So
I've gotten away with my grandmother's two-step verification using her landline.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know how I did that.
I love that.
I
love certain apps that'll do that. No, some apps will actually do that where you can verify through a landline number or something like that. I love that ability. I wish they had more of that, but they don't always.
Me too. Yeah. Hey, check this out. Jim says Google Photos has instant messaging chat.
Great point.
Which is actually a good point because over the weekend I shared a photo album of my uncle who passed away. We did the services for him, and people, I had put in all those pictures, shared it with everyone, and then people were commenting their memories on those pictures and then talking to each other. It was actually really kind of cool. I never thought about that being instant messaging. Way to go, Jim. Robin Williams says the kids would say that you're having it popping in your DMs. Oh, that's exactly right. I feel like an idiot the way I read that. Sorry, Robin. Obviously not the kid here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Apologies. I did use Facebook Messenger at least 30 times a day, probably more. All right, Richard, got it. Right. Sis and I use Facebook messages all the time, and we're like 35 feet apart.
Yes. I get it.
Guilty. Understood.
Anybody that has just joined, please fill in. We would love to see the results. We have a Google form link out there. Please fill in that form. We would love to, there you go. There it is. I would love to see you fill in this form because we're just curious. We want to know what are the apps you're using. And even if you use them all, that's fine. Check them all. We want to know and see. And like Miss Mia did, she had to go back and change hers. Change your responses. I'd really like to know and see how many of each one are using a lot of these things. It was really cool to see that I don't think there was any one of them that wasn't picked. I think all of them
have been. For those of you who are watching in the replay, we'd love for you to fill it out as well. You might not be part of the live stream, but we still want your input. So that would be great to have you add to this as it goes on. That would be great to see. So
love to see it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, what we did have a couple that haven't been checked yet, and that was Viber and Telegram.
Okay.
Is Telegram kind of new or... I don't know.
Don't even know.
I don't know either. These were suggested to us. So if you've never heard of it, neither have we.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to ask, what is your favorite app? If you have an app, what is your favorite?
I already told mine. I already said mine was Instagram. So what about you?
Yeah. I'd have to say, only because I've been so loyal and it's really what got me into the social media end of the world, I would say Hangouts. I tell people all the time that if you want to get hold of me, send me a Hangout message. I will always answer Hangout messages before anything else. Matter of fact, I don't even have Twitter or Facebook. I don't even have that downloaded on my phone at all. I usually go through the browser to answer or see any of that kind of stuff. So my favorite, I would have to say for sure, is Hangouts. And everybody kind of knows that about me. I mean, if you look at the game show, we use Hangouts to put the answers in and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's what we use in the background. So.
I was going to say it's even more than just an instant messaging app. It's a tool that we use for our business. I mean, it's what we do to communicate with the people who joined our community and let them know every day we have a tip. Today's the show and here's the backstage pass reminder. And, the show's been canceled, whatever the emergency or announcement is, that's where we put it. So, hey, Dana Bentz has joined us. Hello. Coolest background ever, you guys.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Looking forward to being on her show coming up here in a little while here. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Dana's show we're going to be doing in May, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. Can't wait for that. Andrew says Hangouts, hands down. Of course, it doesn't help that you guys are Google product experts, but you would have chosen that before you were a product expert, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Hey, Mark is joined us. Hi, Mark. Yeah, so right now, everybody, there's a poll that we're asking everyone to fill out, and then you can be a part of live stream when we get some more answers to that. We're going to show it up on the screen, but take our poll. This one's it's nonpartisan even. So Robin says, we use Teams for business. I'm an Apple girl. I know. I'm sorry.
Nice.
So iMessage is what I use the most. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Robin. We love you anyway. We love you anyway. So iMessages, Hangouts, I said Instagram. I know Richard said something about Facebook Messenger, I think was his favorite. Yep. So there's lots of let us know what your favorite is. I'd like to even know why it's your favorite. Like, what is it about it that makes it the go-to app for communicating with everyone?
Yeah.
Hangouts was the reason I became a PE. So there you go.
Good point. I got some new results out there. Let's see.
All right.
We got last I checked is 11 responses. So I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Yeah, we're up to 10 responses. Let's see. We actually have more than that now, but I'm going to get a couple more in just a second for the end of the show. But I just want to show this one at this time. Nice. There we go. I like that. 3 Discords. How about that? 7.
Instagram's still leading.
It is.
Not that it's a contest, but.
Right. And then Facebook Messenger by far number 9.
And that, honestly, that was the reason why I put it at the bottom of the list, because I was pretty sure that was going to be the number 1 on that list. Because, I mean, realistically, how many millions, billions of users are on Facebook? It makes total sense.
True.
Richard gives us an answer here. My favorite is TikTok since I use it a lot, but Messenger is the one I use the most. Gotcha. And Mark says that green light on Facebook Messenger is pretty handy. And here we go. Mia says, I love any app that lets me send a voice message. Oh, April loves voice messaging too. One of the reasons why I ditched Google Chat, except for Michael.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I know. I know the new one thing I really love about the new messages, Google Messages, which is the text messaging side of it. Now you can send voice messages too. And one of the reasons why I 100% use Google Duo is because it has video messages, it has voice messages, it has CC'd anything, it has so much, it has all of them. It has text messaging, it has every bit of them. It has all of it. And that's one of the reasons why I really like that one.
Agreed. I think truthfully, if I could choose just one that I would use and nothing else, it would be Duo, because of all the things that I can do with it. It's so much fun and it's very easy to use, but you're the only person who will actually communicate with me on there, and Mark Barris on occasion. So that makes it not my favorite because I don't use it all the time. So I would use it if I could get more people to use Duo. I'd use it probably more than anything else. But
Mia Voss brings up a great point. I love when she said that. I thought that was awesome because it is universal. It is cross-platform. There and I would much rather give my voice than to sit there and try and type something. So that's one reason why I absolutely love it. So I agree with her. I just can't bring myself to Facebook, and I don't want to put it on my phone. So
so here's another thing that she said. I love both Insta and Facebook, and then I use WhatsApp for international folks when I travel, more like traveled in the past tense. And I totally I'm glad that she mentioned this, because that's one thing that's really cool that you can't do with messaging, text messaging, or SMS, or whatever we're going to call it. You can't really do with that when you go, like when I went to Canada, my cellular plan did not work. However, I could use Wi-Fi and utilize instant messaging apps to be able to go ahead and message that I had made it safely or whatever. So yeah, that is really something to keep in mind. You don't realize it until you're out of country or you have zero cell service or something happens like that.
Duo was huge on that.
Yeah, picture messaging with Duo. Yeah, I agree. And what else does Rich? I would Heather, but you never Duo me. Oh, Richard. Oh, be careful what you ask for, my friend.
Love it. Love it.
Fun. All right, so did everybody get their...
get your thing in, because we're wrapping up here. We're going to be wrapping up.
I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to do one more time. So get your what are we calling it? Get your answers in.
Yeah, get your answers in.
I was going to say something about pole dancing. I won't. All right. Let's see. That's right. So take a look and answer some more questions. I know right now we have a couple extra responses, and then we'll see what you guys have to say. Let's see. Robin says, Heather, you have a point. You have to go where your people are, or you're messaging yourself, which, you know what, I don't think I can do that on Duo. Because if I could, I'd be happy. I mean, I would love that. That would be fabulous.
She would Duo herself.
I would if I could do that. I don't think I can, though. It won't let me choose.
I agree. Let's see.
Dang it.
All right.
But one of the things that I do love about Duo, and this is not like, an advertisement for Duo, but one of the things that I love is being able to do those silly filters. Like, there's no real reason to do it other than it's super fun. And when they come out with new ones, Michael and I almost always utilize them to send to each other. It's just such a lame thing to do, but I absolutely love it. It always cracks me up. And you know what? These days, I could use a smile every now and then. I don't know about you. So if you want a smile from Duo, hit me up.
There you go. All right, I think I'm there. I think we got the 12 or whatever. Here we go. Let's go to it. Let's see what they are. Here's where we're final answers.
Thanks everyone for your responses. We really do appreciate you participating in our little bit of fun here. Instagram wins, hands down. Instagram wins, even if it's only by one.
That's right.
And again, not a contest, but that's
right.
Okay.
Exactly. So let's see here. Let's go to this one. We got Instagram
messaging,
Facebook, WhatsApp. There we go. Okay.
I like to see that there is one person out there that uses Slack for instant messaging as well, which is kind of cool, because Slack was something I used religiously every single day, all day long when I was working. It was the only way we could communicate, because we were all over the world. So that was pretty cool to be able to have all of our work communications and individual messages to each other as well. So I like Slack. I don't have a reason to use it now, but
there's a lot of people that I've heard, especially through the different groups and some of my Hangout friends, their work uses Slack. It's a very, very work driven oriented type thing. At least that's what I've heard. So that's awesome.
Andrew says I could use Greg's phone to Duo myself. You know what? You just reminded me. Grandma Duos me.
There you go. You go, Grandma. There you go, Grandma. I love it.
This has been a fun conversation. I really hope that we answered some of the questions about what's the difference between text messaging or instant messaging. And, we've heard it called SMS for text messaging. I don't know if we really answered the question, but I think we had a good time talking about what we do and why we do it and what we like about the different ones, and being able to see just how many people use or how little people use certain apps is kind of
You don't
interesting.
have to call them little people.
How little the amount of use.
I see.
Oh my God.
That's not very nice. I mean, you don't have to call them
Yeah,
little people.
I know it. I know it.
We got we're going to do a backstage pass to the community members. So any community members, please join us in the backstage pass. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching today. If you're thinking about this and you want to come back and you have some comments you want to put on the video, put it on the video and we'll definitely answer them, anything that we can. And if you see this poll, we're calling it a poll, but it's actually just filling out a form real quick. Fill it in and let us know. Give us a heads up and a thank you. We appreciate you guys. I think that's all I got. Heather, you got anything else?
You know what? Mark's words can be the last word. Join the community. I mean, seriously.
Perfect. Good way to end it. Thank you. We will see you next week. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you. Thank you, community members. We do appreciate it. And we will see you next week. Bye, all.